there because it was actually shot in 4K.
Yep.
Okay, so the reason why I prep and this is what we said that today's discussion was going to be a little bit more long format, and the reason is because one of the discussions that I wanted to bring on board is the fact that I think that Apple has been doing something a little non-traditional in the sense of the way that they're trying to go about looking more like a tech company that's more heavily involved. And it's kind of funny because there was an article that came out on Friday that said, and this was from Car and Driver, that said that Hyundai and Apple might be very, very close to striking a deal in the Apple Car project. Now, this goes along the realms of, look, Apple has had some really, really, really big tech come out recently that people were astonished by. Let's just face it, the MacBook Pros with the M1 chips have been fantastic. Okay, they recently reduced their new over-the-ear headphones, which are being received as somewhere in between the higher echelon but usable format for people that are into new technology and headphone designs. Okay, and however, they haven't delivered on such technologies as higher refresh rates on their cell phones recently, and have seemed to have caused some sort of criticism of people saying that, well, there's much vaporware in the Apple community. Well, just as soon as they announced the fact that they might even be close to a deal, well, guess what? This just in.
Find the other one?
Yeah. Wait, no, it's the other one. Oh, we got the wrong article. This morning after, Apple halts its autonomous EV talks with Hyundai.
Yeah, that was on the 8th. And
yeah. So this literally just dropped, right? So the fact of the matter is that now it looks like after attempting, and look, Apple's been at this game right now for telling people that they were going to have some sort of EV or some sort of technology in the auto industry that was going to come out for a long time now. And for the fact of the matter is that Sony's now producing their own EV. And it begs the discussion of what is the vaporware that Apple keeps putting out. And Corey's going to recap this with some other important Apple vaporware that has basically disappeared.
Yeah.
So the question is, are they really, at this point, is Apple really tempting the question of trying to, I would say, almost appear Tesla-esque in driving up their own value while hanging people out to dry in the fact that they're going to enter the auto industry, which they really haven't. So the discussion, I said, I think first, then you can go into the other
sure.
parts if you want
Chat
to.
about stuff,
So is that what they're doing? I mean, is Apple got a real image problem where they feel necessary that they have to enter this electric vehicle conversation, but they're a non-starter? They really haven't pushed that point yet.
I mean, we've been hearing about the Apple Car for years.
Sure.
And it's like I asked Mike, because I mean, I'll kind of admit I'm not as invested in the Apple ecosystem.
I am.
He's quite into that, and I'm an Android guy actually.
Yeah.
But I have used Apple products, and for how they integrate with each other, it seems to work really well, and whatever. I'm just more.
They have their limitations.
But going along with that too, it seems to me that Apple seems to just keep their cards a little closer to the chest, meaning they develop things, and then when something is they're pretty sure someone's going to release it, they have an actual date, it's production chain's all set, it's going to work, then they release it, they kind of just open the floodgates and everybody learns about it all at once. But as far as the car goes, I mean, we just seem to be hearing about the car for years and years, and there's been tons of renders and sketches and all different kinds of things, and we don't know.
Here's what kicks off this whole discussion for me. Recently, Apple went out and said that they're going to develop a dual 8K VR headset.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
We just talked about it the other day. But when I was, it kind of became a tempting part of discussion to say, well, where's the car? Look, an 8K VR headset.
It was kind of funny that we talked about the headset just last week, and then no joke, we said to each other, "What about the car?" And then literally the next day, I see an article about the car.
Because to me, to overachieve in the car sense would be an amazing. I think it's almost a practicality for where Apple wants to go or needs to go in order to be considered, I would say, a seriously forward-minded technology company at this point, especially with Tesla hanging out there doing what it's doing, especially with Sony bringing something to the marketplace, and then Porsche bringing in their Taycan Turbo S and saying, hey, we want to dominate this market space as well for performance EVs, right?
Yeah.
Well, for that, if they can't deliver some other technology, which Corey's about to talk to right now, I don't know if they even have a shot at ever getting into the car market if they haven't gotten there by now, because I think it's becoming a very late entry for them, and it's starting to smell to me like they're just selling vaporware. And if you want to take the conversation into what other recent vaporware that they haven't been able to deliver on, by all means, I'll I'll let you go
Yeah,
out there.
you can go in on that too because
Go ahead.
yeah, you know about it too. But I mean, some of the things just looking at some random stuff about vaporware. It's not a new, like let's say super recent, but if you guys are familiar with the Apple Air Power wireless
Oh
charger
yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
iPhone, the watch, the iPods, AirPods. That was back. Let's see, that was supposed to be in 2017, supposed to launch 2018,
Sure.
and 2018 came and went, and it left. It was just dropped
Didn't
it.
make it.
Just dropped it. So it even literally looks like this one guy has a Twitter post from March 2019 that looks like Apple AirPower, like a box.
Sure. Which one? The Apple AirPower?
Yeah, just like where is the product?
Oh, it's gone. It didn't make it.
That's what I mean. That's
So
what I'm
they
saying, I
didn't-
guess. So it's and now there's multiple wireless charging docks right out there you can get anyway. But
Sure.
it's just to say like what happened, like just what happened. I don't know.
And then there's the glasses.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so also Apple has been leaking time and time again
Yeah, smart
something
glasses.
about their glasses, their release date, their price, and they've said, hey, what we know so far is that it is still something that's been talked about since 2015, and this is basically goes against what was going on with Google Glass
Yeah,
at the time.
and those are Mike's talking about AR augmented reality glasses,
Yes.
not the VR glass, no the VR headset.
Not the VR
that's
headset,
separate thing.
okay?
Yeah.
And so basically this project has been going on for a while now, and Apple's been teasing and teasing that that's going to happen. We're going to have this embedded glass technology over the eye kind of wear that's going to bring you into the augmented world, but still currently vaporware, not there.
Yeah.
Okay. So they said they could announce it in March of 2021, which would be not so much a huge shock, but that now they're saying it's going to be pushed back till 2022. So the thing is that what I'm seeing more and more happen in the conversation of what's going on with Apple is they've got this technology. They kind of sell you into this ecosystem as to, hey, you can really grab onto the fact that we're trying to build this one Apple universe, but they're still failing to deliver. And it makes me question whether or not that VR headset is just another, gash in the wound to say, hey, put everybody on the hook for what we can do with our superpower silicon chips. We're going to have the M1 system driving 8K displays, dual eyes, and VR. And I'm like, look, Apple.
Yeah, for me, I hope I hope more products come to market so there's
Sure.
more competition. But something like he just said about the glasses, an 8K monitor per eye, I just want to see how if it works and it comes out. I just want to see how it works, like how they did
Sure.
it. Is it going to be tethered? What is driving it? If it's not tethered, what's the battery life? Because of all these things, Apple would have thought about if the product comes to market, it's going to be something that people can use.
Right.
And if it's something that people can use, they would have had to engineer the solutions to some of the problems. Power generation, where's the computing going to be happening, on device, off device, those kind of things. And I just want to see that so there's progress in the whole market as a whole, because
Right.
that's cool.
And,
There'll be
and
other things coming if they get 8K in their headset, one per eye, then the whole market's getting pushed towards really high fidelity. And actually, in that glasses article, there was a quote from somebody, I think it was in here, right? A quote from one of the guys at Apple that basically said they thought at some point that their AR glasses, not the VR glasses, but the AR glasses could supplant the iPhones and just as a whole, right? Kind of
Sure.
like how Google Glass was trying to go when it first came out, or when they're first kind of pitching that idea, was that Google Glass could eventually do something, like my glasses. You just put them on,
and you're good to
just put
go.
them on, and it's like that's my phone in my face, and I can get calls, and I can do anything I need with that. That's super cool. We don't have that yet. I mean, there's a lot of smart glass AR models that are being worked on, but nothing quite like I think that they want.
So the big thing here is like it's almost verging on where augmented reality is also stepping into that part where there's now these LiDAR sensors that are coming out in this generation's iPhone. They were in the iPad Pro this year. That also was released. Okay, actually last year's release. And it's interesting to me is because look, the other thing was when Apple first came out and said we're going to go after the auto industry market, so on and so forth. And then there was CarPlay, and everyone thought CarPlay was secret code for something else that was going to be an actual car. Okay. Then there was the whole discussion that Apple was really poaching people from Tesla.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one? So that was another big one.
Going on.
Okay, so then we progressed into the fact that now they were supposed to inject this billions of dollars into this this Kia Hyundai deal, and now that's DOA, dead on arrival. And Tyler,
you see that thing from Tyler? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tyler in comments was saying it was supposed to be 3.6, and like we said, as of this morning, into Kia, that's a done deal. It's not going to happen. But they were close. They were allegedly very, very close.
Yeah, back in January when that other article, the first one we showed you from Yahoo Finance.
Yeah.
I got the right. Yeah. The Yahoo Finance one was in January.
Sure.
Updated in February, and it was supposed to be like, I might have screwed up. Sorry. Car and Drivers was back in January.
Right. No, you're right.
And they updated it mid-January, and the deal's going ahead with Hyundai, and then of course, we just see on the Car and Driver from the 8th. Yeah.
So there was the 8th.
Nope. Which is today.
Yes.
So
Monday, yes. So that's them basically saying that it's not going to happen, right? So here's the other thing.
It says
what?
It doesn't seem to imply the deal is totally off, but just that it could go the way that they're may still working on it, but it might just not happen. Something may happen behind the scenes that we may never even hear about, and it might disappear, even though it may not be dead yet. It could be, as far as we're concerned.
So then this begs the question: if Tesla could easily now, and this is where this conversation goes the other direction, Tesla could enter the phone market. Okay, Tesla could literally enter the phone market, and have an A1 headset with connectivity to their Starlink system within another, who knows how long they could if they can make what they're doing with rockets right now, they could get into the phone market like that. I have no doubt the fact that they could probably design and have something,
FCC, and then they're good.
Yeah, just go through the FCC. So but the problem is, why can't Apple do the same? I know it's a lot harder to suddenly get on the road going vehicles, right? And part of that discussion, but this is why I'm gonna say I feel like Apple's entered this vaporware competition. It's almost like they have to show something soon, because there's been so much talk about it that if they don't get in, I think that's part of the future is going to be mobility. Or I could be wrong.
Could be. I don't know. Yeah. I think it might just go back to again about how Apple does things, trying to develop something. They that you sometimes see patents filed.
Sure.
From Apple, obviously we see patents filed from Tesla and all these other people, but when Apple patents come out, you see like maybe what they're thinking about working on, and then they just never go anywhere sometimes.
Sure.
And that's not to say that doesn't happen with other patents either, but it seems to me, outside looking in, right, on Apple, the Apple ecosystem, call it,
right,
that they don't tell you anything until there's like something happening, like for sure.
No, I think no. I think that they tell you stuff in advance now to keep your whistle wet and keep you on the hook for certain technology.
Yeah, but they don't tell you. They don't like give you teasers that tell you really anything about it.
Sure.
It's like, okay, there's a car. Working on a car. Okay.
Give Apple props for this. For Apple producing their own chips. They have entered a realm that a lot of other companies can't really touch. Okay, they're going in a direction where if this M1 processor really takes forward in the direction that it could, and it becomes an integrated product into some other company's EV, that's a massive score for Apple.
Sure.
The problem is, if they're strong enough to be able to build chips, again, I look at it and I go, well, why can't you make the car? Just make the damn car. Because again, I think this also has to be part of the discussion that their chip making ability could lead to a double 8K VR display. I just think that could be a possibility. It just doesn't mean that it's going to happen, because they've kind of not delivered on a couple of things.
I don't know. I don't.
This is where I'd be jealous of Elon Musk. Me personally.
Bringing things to market.
He says, "Okay, we're gonna have the Boring Company. We're gonna just
we're gonna make flamethrowers. We're gonna it just does it. He just does it.
And we're gonna make a flamethrower." And his lawyers are like, "You should probably not do that." He's like,
"We're doing it.
We're still doing it." Okay.
True.
So the other one is the boring brick, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna build this. We're gonna bore this tunnel out, and then make bricks to hold the tunnel together with the stuff we just bored out.
And you could now get boring bricks. And you know what? People have tested these bricks on YouTube, and they're actually pretty strong bricks. So that's the other part. Where's Apple? Apple, I think, needs to step it up.
They can innovate. There are plenty of smart people there.
But they're in vaporware territory. They got to get out of it. At some point. No? Would you ever consider owning an Apple car?
No. I got a Tesla, and I'm biased because I have a Tesla. Sure, I get that.
No, I have a Tesla.
And I guess I have to clarify because I wanna remain somewhat unbiased in the sense that if there was an Apple car I could go look at or at least knew something about,
Sure.
why would I not check it out? We do that. We on our channel we like to check new stuff out. We look at cars, we look
Right.
at rockets, we look at planes. So of course I'd go look at one. Why would I not? I mean, I'd go test drive one. Of course, why would I not? I mean, and then if 10 years from now, when the wife wants a new car, she can get an Apple car if she wants. I'm not that guy gonna say you can't have an Apple car. We get a Tesla car. I'm not that guy. But what there's not even a conversation now.
See, but no,
what do we talk about?
That's not going to happen.
Apple car? Well, I don't know. It's Vaporware.
That's not going to happen in your household because usually if one member of a household has Android or an Apple device, the other one has the same, right? I don't think your wife would ever go for, and especially knowing the quality in a Tesla, I don't think she's going to go.
I think
the
wife might be watching. She's had an Apple. She had iPods.
Really?
Yeah, she had an Apple laptop.
I know. Well, that's my other laptop.
This
is a work laptop.
But
most of our shows done on Apple equipment.
And look, she's been
sorry, go ahead.
Over there before, so I don't know.
And before anybody turns around and says, "Hey, don't knock Apple too much," let me tell you something.
He loves Apple.
I have my issues with Apple. Okay, my thing is, I think Apple has a very, very strong case for productivity in the creative environment, and for things like doing this show. This show is completely done using Apple products. Okay, I've said this before. This is actually run off of a laptop. Okay, MacBook Pro, good laptop, top of the line. Although it's still run off of a laptop.
It runs OBS. It does Photoshop work.
It does pretty much everything, and that's the supporting machine, the one that Corey has on his desk. Okay, but when I think about the long-term survivability of the discussion of what tech companies are supposed to produce, and if Vaporware is supposed to sell you like a Halo car for say like just as much as Elon Musk hasn't produced the new Roadster, Apple's selling you on we're gonna have our VR components and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
What I really want to see though, 10 years down the road, I want to see an Apple car, a Sony EV, a Porsche EV, and a Tesla EV, and I want to see them all at the Rolex.
That would be super.
That's what I want to see.
Because Sony is working on a car, as well, and I mean, I guess we could. Well, I was gonna say the Dyson car, but that's not happening. He's already canceled that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's officially canceled that. But anyway, I mean, yeah. So,
I think that would be cool.
I'd love to see more of them. Why not? So I'm all about seeing it.
It'd be interesting because if I'm not mistaken, the other car, the other one that would be very interesting to see. What?
Comments are.
Nope.
EBY says nope. Apple probably turn into a brick when the next model comes out.
Oh damn! Well, that's the other thing that people really have to be cautious of in the Apple environment, which is Apple tends to push people into this realm of having to be an early adopter and then being left out the next year when the next equipment comes out. Now, in the phone category, they've done small incremental updates that have been always kind of satisfactory, but lately it seems to be that they're starting to find this way to do leapfrog technology. So maybe if they find a new way to make another small version of the M1 chip, and even though they have I think it's the M12 now or the M13 in the phones, but it would be real interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Which actually, hey, just a reminder, everybody out there, if you get a chance, like, follow, subscribe, and so on and so forth, because it's great for us to have new subscribers and followers. And again, we have a totally different discussion level of other people out there, which is interesting. But here's the other thing. And, we've been talking about air taxis for the past couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it just popped in my head that something that I want to start a discussion on is, there have been companies that years ago, before quadcopter technology was really making a breakthrough in the direction that it's the Muller.
What's that?
You remember that? Was it the Muller or it was the Muller? It was the guy that used to make a muffler system, and I think it was like the Muller 600 flying car.
600? I mean, I don't know if we talked about it, but I did find, it was like last week, the Terrafluga, or I don't know how to say that car.
Oh, we got to talk about that this
approved.
week.
That thing got approved.
It did.
I can never say that name.
The Terrafugia.
Terrafugia car.
No, it's the Molar Sky Car. That's the one. And it's something that I want to revisit now because there's before things get too strange in the air taxi marketplace. So Molar, and this is something we're gonna start discussing because he actually had, I guess,
that thing.
Yes, this thing. He had this thing hovering a while back ago. Okay.
Bring it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up really quick, and I think it's something that we have to start discussing because he was close, and this is from 2017, and it's actually saying that you could fly it at this point, that it's flyable, but it may or may not have the control systems on board, but it might be time to start revisiting some of these older air taxis that have been out there for a while, just so we could take a look at them.
Those are straight turbine.
Is it jet powered or
I don't know,
ducted?
I'm asking you.
I can't remember. Which one it is.
I don't know. What year was this? I don't know if there was battery tech back then.
They were testing this. This has been around for a while. This thing
must have been.
This I think is like 2008 is when it started to roll around. But it's one of those things that if we're gonna look in,
video right there.
Yeah, there's a video. But we're gonna save this for another discussion because
cool.
I want to. It was just something that popped into my head. Maybe 2013. He had the crowdfunding and so on and so forth for it. But as we get into these other emerging technologies like air taxis and so on and so forth, it just might be nice to take a look at some of these older technologies that have been around for a while.
That aren't vaporware.
That are not vaporware. That have. Let's see if they're going to stand the test of time. Who knows?
Cool.
All right. Well, with that said, hey, we got more work to do for ourselves this week on video editing. We got more stuff to bring you guys. If you have any suggestions, please, by all means, in the comments below, leave us some links and anything you want us to bring up that's technology-based, car-based.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that you find that you think we'd find here
science,
on aerospace, science, cars, airplanes.
We talk about all the random stuff. I have one. Maybe I'll post a link. I was telling the wife earlier. I found a link to that guy at MIT. He hacked his spinach, the plant spinach, and it would send him an email when it would detect certain biotoxins in the soil. I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on.
And there's another gentleman, I think, recently that just hooked up electromagnetic receiving devices to mushrooms. Okay, so he could actually hear the noises that mushrooms make.
As they're just alive?
As they're alive. So kind of interesting things that we might bring that along. Maybe it's something we'll have to talk about maybe on Wednesday.
Some random stuff.
So talking mushrooms would be interesting. But hey, folks.
And emailing spinach.
And emailing spinach. That'll
Will the spinach email the mushrooms?
Okay, you know what?
They'll start a thread and they'll be like, "What the hell are we doing?"
What would you call your spinach? If you had named spinach and it was a pet of yours, what would you call it?
Well, the spinach is probably asking him, "Hey, there's a Nigerian prince. He needs you to send some cash
right away. Otherwise, you're gonna forfeit the ability to get the cash out. No, if I had spinach as a pet, I would name it Popeye.
You should. He'd probably email and be like, "Look,
exactly.
we have a chat."
Like, dude, I don't like my name. Whatever.
Okay.
All right, look.
All right, yeah.
We're gonna go. We'll be back to you guys on Wednesday at. We're gonna go for our 2:00 time now. This is probably our time slot, 2 to 3. Yeah. And we appreciate your time, your energy. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and for the great comments. And remember, if you had an opportunity to like the video, please just reach on down below and tap the like. And if you're not already a subscriber, do so, and then ring that bell so you can turn around and get the latest notifications when we're back on the air, which will be Monday through Wednesday. Wednesday, Friday, 2 to 3. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yep.
You good to go?
Yep. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for hanging out. As Mike said, the like, share, subscribe, obviously appreciated. And then, if there's something we maybe touched on today that you'd like to hear more of, or something we talked about in a previous video, let us know in the comments. We are certainly happy. We talk a lot. We try to have a variety of subjects and hit stuff that we find interesting a few times over again. But if there's something particular, just let us know.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
With that said, we're on our way out. Take care, everybody. See ya.
See you next time.